Hopefully it doesn't do what it did the last time. The last time it just cycled through and then kicked me out. But you were on, which was
we're live.
See, I'm not live, but we are live.
Yes, we are.
I'm coming. Oh, I see you, right? Hey! Every week I act surprised. I'm just surprised to see everyone. So welcome everyone. Welcome back. Hope you had a great week. Happy Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. It's been so much going on. Didn't even know that was this month. So we have a good show for everyone. But before we get started, we just want to ask you. Oh, I'm sorry. Where am I? I act like we haven't done the show in months. Who am I? I'm Lana Quest.
You are Lana Quest. Who am I? I'm Honor. Honored to be here.
You know
I didn't get that in last week. There we go.
You didn't?
I did. It's fine though.
What
I changed it up a little bit.
Did I skip past it? Or
no, girl, we were fine last week.
Okay, so
actually, you remember to do order of business, so there you go.
That is when you are working mothers and just doing everything all the time. So welcome to the Quest Show. Yes, I am Lana Quest, and this is the lovely
Honor. Honor to be here.
Yes. Please, everyone, before Honor gets started with what she's got for us, we're going to ask you to please subscribe. Like this show, share it. You guys have to share the show. And thank you to our new subscribers. We did get a couple last week. So thank you guys very much.
And also jump in the chat. Yes. Let's give an early shout out to our chat group. The Q Hive. I'm going to shout them out again because they are such a cool bunch.
Q Hive. Hey, hey.
So I have an honorable mention before we get started. And that is, and I'm sure everyone that is listening to us right now, watching us right now, should be familiar with this painting. So the painting is called The Sugar Shack. It was painted in 1976 by Ernie Barnes, and it just sold for a record $15.2 million.
That is crazy.
Yes. Now, why should you know this painting? If you have ever watched an episode of Good Times, then you have seen the painting of the Sugar Shack. That is where everybody looks like they are just getting down in the juke joint, having a real good time. I love that painting. I have always loved that painting.
Me too. You're gonna kill me, but can I try to do this? Let me just try. Because I just noticed when I shut out to come back here, I am in the Zoom meeting. So I shut the YouTube part out and I'm in the Zoom. Keep talking about the Sugar Shack and Good Times. And who has not seen
seen it? Right. It was wasn't it the end painting? Like once the opening credits came up, that was the painting that you saw. Yeah. And then they always made it seem like J.J. Evans painted some of those paintings, I think, including that one. So, yeah, very, very nice. Yeah, you going to get us a picture?
You know what? I'm trying, but I don't see it on YouTube. So that means, oh, no, look it.
I see it.
Girl, here it comes. We're going to get y'all a picture. Spell that for me. Sugar Shack.
Like Sugar Shack. Ernie Barnes.
Yes.
There you go.
Oh, let's get this picture. Oh, well, I guess you can get a print of it. There you go.
Sure you can.
Yeah, you can, everybody. You can get a print for $350. There's the Sugar Shack.
That's the Sugar Shack.
That's amazing.
Everybody's getting down.
And kudos to us. Pat, come on, Shell. Look it. We did it.
Aren't we so 2022?
Y'all in for it now. Y'all just get ready because we're gonna be like, what? Let's look it up. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's dope. I really, that's good. That's really good. Yeah.
So yes. So let's get started.
Oh, we're gonna get started? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, let's let's go. Let's talk about, we can update baby formula.
What's
going on with that?
Well, there has been a shortage that has been nationwide, probably actually global, because I wanted to say, I heard, there are other countries that are suffering shortages as well.
Right.
But Biden, there's an update to this. Biden put into what does he did? He made he put into the Defense Production Act.
Yes.
Where he is going to work with the formula manufacturers to get that really out and churning. Because it isn't just a matter of switching to breast milk.
Yeah, it's just not that easy. Like, I can't stand that people even would come out of their mouths like, just breastfeed. Like, what? My milk is gone. That's just, it dries up. Like,
my baby is 6 months old.
Yeah, if
you don't feed babies milk like regular milk until a year.
Right.
So, at 6 months, your milk is not going to come in, and you are worried about what you're going to do as far as feeding your child.
Absolutely.
At 6 months, you're not really even starting them on solids yet. You might give them a mushy potato or something like that, but really, my kids were still getting the infant cereal and stuff because it was good for them. It had the nutrients and stuff that they needed. So, and you mix that with formula.
Right.
You mix it with water, it's just not the same. It doesn't carry the same nutritional value. I'm sure that there are people out there having to do stuff like that.
Right. And that's the scary part to me. It's like, people are probably trying to make their own baby formula, trying to Google stuff, taking open cans of formula. But can we back up a little bit and talk about how this even started? Because you have the right, and we always got to bring them in because Republicans are just clowns and trash, saying that, like, Biden's giving the baby formula to immigrants. That's why we don't have any. Like, it's just all of the nonsense, and that's just not what happened. And it's not even any one administration's problem. It's like, it's how the system is set up here. And we're finding out the system is set up so badly, where 4 companies have a monopoly on making baby formula.
And that just should not be the case, because you know what? The prices are ridiculous.
Right. And that is why. Yeah.
I thought they were kind of outrageous, and I'm long out of the formula years. I cannot imagine what people have to pay now. Like, seriously.
Right. Absolutely. So that's exactly why we're having this problem now. But not only did Biden invoke the Defense Production Act, I guess the FDA and Abbott, the company that had to shut down. So that's a part of why there's a shortage too. Because
supply chain.
Right, exactly. One of the 4 companies had to shut down, which is Abbott. And I guess Abbott makes the special.
It makes Similac. Right. Like all of the Similac, I believe, is probably the most use formula out there, because if most babies can tolerate it. And if you can't do the Similac at that, like, it used to be Isomil, which was the soy based formula. So, if you take them out of production, it's probably, you have 4 that have a majority, but it doesn't mean that it's split 25% between those 4. Absolutely. Abbott could have 50% of that all by themselves.
He had most of it. Right. And then I guess there's another special formula that he was making that a lot of these babies that can't tolerate soy or
maybe gluten-free and stuff like that.
Exactly. Right. So Abbott, and this all started because Abbott had contamination in his factory. Like, this is something that no one could have thought would ever happen. So, there's a lot of blame to go around.
There is. There's the prior administration. There's the FDA. There is this administration. I mean, like, I know they have a lot of balls that they are juggling, and certainly they do, but the FDA, you know what, and in light of all of and this is off topic just a little bit, but in keeping with the FDA, in light of all of the salmonella, E. coli outbreaks that have killed people, you would think that getting the FDA back on track would have, as well as the CDC, because they kind of work hand in hand, right? Mm-hmm. Would have been a priority. And hopefully it is now.
Hopefully it is now, girl. You're absolutely right. And then the Republicans had the nerve to block the bill. 192 House Republicans blocked the baby formula bill. How is that a thing? What could it be?
I don't know. Even though that's just very foolish.
Not the pro-life people. How is that a thing? You want the babies not to eat?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say to that, because once you drop the baby off at the firehouse, right. I mean,
Amy will breastfeed your children. Go to her. She'll do it. Hey, speaking of breastfeeding, TSA, you had a story.
I did. So there was a woman that was trying to, actually, she's a news correspondent, and she was leaving her 10-week-old baby for the first time to travel. She had 2 ice packs with her. She had her breast pump so that she could pump. She was flying west to East Coast. Mm-hmm. And the TSA wouldn't let her through because her ice packs weren't frozen solid. And she said they were 2 males. She said, well, can I speak with a female, one that's preferably be a mother? And they were like, well, she's going to tell you the same thing. And eventually, they just told her, like, no, she couldn't do it. And then they were snarky with her and were like, and if you try to go through a second time, we're going to go through this process all over again. So she had to put in her carry-on. She was not able to pump. And for any mother that has had engorged breasts, because that's actually what it is,
right?
It's very, very, very painful. And the thought of just like the whole 10 weeks old, leaving her child for the first time. She's still establishing her schedule,
right,
to a certain degree. You know what I mean? And that, I just think that is, if we are going to, we have a shortage of formula. If everyone is going to be forced to have a baby and there's no formula that leaves breast milk, you have to have a way for working mothers, because if you're home with your baby, that's fine, to be able to feed their babies.
Right.
That goes from waitresses to news correspondents to nurses to doctors to housekeeping. They have to have a way to feed their baby. You can't.
And there lies the problem. And that's why, a lot of women don't breastfeed. We know it's a good thing. I tried. Mm-hmm. I really did. I had a latching on problem, but there lies a problem. We've had attorneys in the office and, we made a little room for them so they can go in and breastfeed. But then how hygienic really is this? Like in this room, because now she's like in the bathroom cleaning, all of her stuff.
That is no.
Right? No. Because now she don't want to be in the kitchen sink where people are eating, cleaning.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's still just America needs to do better, right? Before you start trying to be forcing
everyone to be a mother.
Right. Fix the situation where women have longer maternity leave, where we're not forced to go back to work at 2 months or 3 months, or give people
2 months or 3 months. That's unpaid leave. Is the last time I checked, a regular birth was 6 weeks and a C-section was 8. If you have money to be able to take 12 weeks for unpaid.
Yeah. Or you work for a company that is good enough, because my company, they put us under short-term disability. So when women had babies, we got paid under short-term disability, and we were able to get paid, not the full salary, but we got paid while we were out for 3 months. Everyone doesn't get that. Everyone doesn't
one
get
check
that.
At 60%. And I was like, I'm gonna have to go back to work. This is just not
right. It only works maybe if you're married and he's making enough to pull that load for those that time. But again, this is a tough decision, and and this is what married couples go through. Like, how are we going to pay? You're going to be out for 3 months. Like, we're not even talking about the maternity leave. We're like stuck on the abortion part and like not, but when they force you, you got to be home. And then they want to take the benefits away. No, you can't be on welfare. No, you can't get WIC.
Exactly.
Y'all be careful. Be careful because WIC is federally funded, correct? Isn't that a federal
Yes,
thing?
it is.
Be careful. Those Republicans are going to take WIC away. That's only a matter of time. Okay. Y'all think y'all got y'all think that this is bad now? It's gonna get worse.
It is. It is. Moving right along, and this is primary season. Actually, you know what? And part of the story actually falls under like our other section that we're going to discuss tonight. So primaries were held in Pennsylvania. What other states? What state does Madison represent?
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina.
Yeah, because Lindsay's south.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Lindsay's south. He lost. Poor Madison. But he needs to do some healing. He really does. He needs to do some healing, and that is best done not in Congress.
Girl, bye. But you know what's funny? I bet they're still taking care of Cawthorne because Cawthorne knows where the orgies and the cocaine is. So they need to take care of him. He's gone, but is he really gone? Because he can write a whole book. I'm sure.
No, girl. You know they friends with thugs. They probably had an oath keeper show up to his house late at night or some crazy crap like that.
I was gonna, okay, maybe that wouldn't be appropriate to talk about breaking his legs. So let's keep going.
No, we're gonna keep going. Now, Pennsylvania had their primary too.
That's what thugs do.
That's what thugs do.
That's what I mean. That's what they do. That's
I did say oath keeper, but you know. But anyway,
yes,
Pennsylvania had their primaries also. They are still trying to figure out the outcome of the GOP primary. It is between his name Helmut Oz, Dr. Oz, Mehmet. I said Helmut. Mehmet. That's terrible.
His hair looks like a helmet. It's okay.
I live in Maryland. It wasn't my primary. I'm sorry. And McCormick, and then Barnett. Yes. She came in a nice third. Thank you very much. Virginia's lieutenant governor is more than enough. We don't need no more of that. And Trump is telling Dr. Oz to go on ahead and cheat.
Why not? Like,
just declare yourself the winner.
Right. We're talking about this, guys, because it's the news, so we have to talk about it. We really don't care who has won between Barnett, Oz, and who's the guy? McCormick, right. But that is interesting that he's gonna probably claim if Oz wins that it was fraud. Like,
well, no, he wants Oz to win.
I'm sorry, I said it wrong. Right.
Oh, you're right. Wins. And you know what? I was reading an article, and the crazy part about that is it's the primary. In the primaries, you only vote for your party. Right. And so they have to do the absentee ballots, right? And some GOP person was like, he wants us to just throw 100,000 Republican votes. Like, that's just not going to happen, dude. What are you talking about? Like, it's not all voters. You're not going to throw out no black voters from Philly if you don't count those absentee ballots. Right. They are all Republican ballots. They are all a Republican vote. Right. Meanwhile, on the Democratic side, John Fetterman won easily. Yeah. And we should also mention he had a stroke.
He did have a stroke and had a pacemaker inserted or implanted, I guess. Okay. That's the correct word. Yeah. He had that, I guess, the day after the primaries. He had that implanted. So
okay. So we wish him well.
Yes, we do. Get back.
And we look forward to whoever his challenger may be.
They said he raised a ridiculous amount of money when he won this nomination.
Yay!
Yeah, right after this.
Do we want him to go up against Dr. Oz?
I do.
I know, right? Because I just think, oh my gosh, will they debate?
Right. I do, because Oz is a clown. McCormick is a clown, but
He's more
seems like,
Trumpy.
yeah, and he can fake it and hide it a
Actually,
little.
yeah, he wants to relitigate the 2020 election and said that he's looking forward to being senator or something like that, because something. He's Am I confusing that with the guy that's running for governor of Pennsylvania?
The guy,
Mastery.
Right. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that guy. That guy is. Yeah, he wasn't he at the Capitol? Did he?
Yes.
Yeah, he was at the Capitol. He is the guy. Pay attention, everyone. If you are in Pennsylvania, that guy, Mastriani, whatever his name is, he wants to throw out everyone's registration and have everyone
re-register the entire state.
This is what he wants to do. Republicans do not cheat in a closet. They are out of the closet. They are out of the box like a jack in a box. They are not playing. They're like, they are here.
But you know what? I swear to goodness, I don't know if they think things through, because older people, if I've been voting for 30 years and I am now 75 years old,
right?
Because they're not going to let you mail anything in or drop anything off. So you got me hobbling down to the registration office to re-register. You're going to drop a whole bunch of older folks right off the road. And they are the ones that vote.
Right. And he may not be. He can't do that anyway, I don't think, because they were talking about like,
girl, we don't know what Republicans can do.
Right, that's true. The Department of Justice would have to, like, how are you throwing people's registration? On what grounds? Just
right.
Like you just make
that would be challenged immediately. That's going.
What grounds? Just because you feel like it and you can because you're the governor? That's not how that works. Like what? Oh my God. This it's not going to end well. So anyway. we do have a congratulations before we move on. Congratulations to Charles Booker. He won the nomination for us U.S. Senate in Kentucky. He's going to
wonderful.
Paul. So it's Rand Paul versus Charles Booker.
That's going to be a good one. Oh my God, I want Rand Paul. Wait a minute.
That is the guy. Yeah.
Held up funding for Ukraine.
Yeah. Right.
I thought it was very interesting because Rand Paul is a loose cannon. I saw Mitch McConnell news clip saying it's gonna pass. Like after he came back from Ukraine, and I don't know what they did for old Randy,
right?
But it passed.
Rand Paul, I think he works for Russia now. Like that's just his thing. Like he does.
Like why would you hold it up?
I mean, girl, he held up the lynching bill, right? Because he said he's like people just gonna, be charged with a hate crime, even if it wasn't hate. Like, dude, what?
No, we pretty much know what a hate crime looks like, and that,
yeah, we know.
Oh, actually, that takes us to our next two stories.
Oh, congratulations, Cheryl Beasley.
Oh, yes,
North Carolina Senate. Yes, so congratulations to her as well. Move on.
So yeah,
I think the DOJ is next. Right. I did like this story. It made me feel good.
It really did. Well, you know more about this story. You told me they requested transcripts from the 1-6 committee.
Right.
And then the 1-6 committee got territorial.
Yeah. Benny Thompson's like, well, we'll give it to you when we feel like it, because we still have work to do and people to interview. So you just gonna have to wait. That's how I took it. Like I just took it like he was all this blustering. Exactly. Like, no, you're not going to get it because we're separate. Do your own work.
Like, sure.
Here's all the paper. Take it. Wait till you see what's in here. Like,
well, because here's the thing. Like I was telling you, there's no way that the DOJ is going to re-interview everyone that the 1-6 committee did. Absolutely. Of course, they are going to get the transcripts because the transcripts contain a lot of information about what Trump did. And of course, the DOJ doesn't announce investigations very much. If people think the entire Department of Justice is not looking at anything that Trump did, this country has no hope.
Right. They absolutely are.
Absolutely are.
I did hear in my travels today that in the box that they retrieved from Trump were photos of what was going on, like not outside, but inside from his photographer. So, every president.
Are you serious on 1/6 or just in general?
Just inside of the White House, not outside. Because the White House, the presidential photographer is there all the time. So she was there taking pictures. So they were saying that this could help them see where he was, kind of what he was doing. Wasn't a lot of
she's sitting for the committee.
So let me tell you this, the real quick, it's a backstory with her. She was trying to get a book out. She wanted to do a book of photography because that is what they do. Obama's photographer did a whole book. Trump was like, what do I get from it? How much do I get? And she's like, what? Nothing.
They belong to president.
He took copies of those pictures and he made his own book. He has a book right now using her pictures. So now, isn't
that like copyright infringement or something like that?
I don't know how any of that works. If like I don't know. He has a book. So now that kind of made her deal. They don't need hers now because he did a book. He already did a book of pictures.
Published it and everything?
Yes. They were talking about this was like a couple of months ago. So,
oh my God.
So to go back to what you were saying, there's no love lost there. She will talk to them.
Oh yeah, because I'm sure she was there that day.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Girl sang.
Yes.
Sing your heart out.
He tried, and then he oh my God,
that is just so
Trump.
Yeah, that's just.
That is so him. That is so him. Yeah. And I think that's actually what they were talking about too, when they were saying there were some pictures in that box. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, like you said, watch his face. Oh, Rachel says.
Because he didn't just take pictures. The pictures weren't classified. Let's say that. And we already know he took classified information.
Exactly. All right. Where are we at now?
Buffalo.
Man, it's like, okay, now we're changing gears. So, do you want to start it? Or...
So, a delusional white supremacist traveled 2 hours to Buffalo, New York, because he researched and found that it had a large majority of Black people. It is majority Black, if I'm not mistaken. And he went to where everybody is on a Saturday afternoon, the supermarket.
Saturday morning, girl.
Saturday morning. Well, yeah. Saturday morning. You know.
Yeah. He went in the morning. Yeah.
Older people get up early in the morning and do their chores.
Yeah, right.
Their errands. They're running around.
Right. And that's probably why. Yeah.
Explain some of the ages.
Yeah. It was like 7 in the morning. So that means he left his house at 5.
He woke up with violence and chose violence.
Yeah.
And he killed 10 people and wounded, how many? Was it 1? Or 3?
3.
3? I thought it was 3, yeah. And they were just wonderful people going about their business. They're calling it a manifesto. And I read someone that was like, a manifesto is like it's like an official type thing. So they refused to call it, but that they just said his ramblings. He posted online like 30 minutes before. He heavily quoted Tucker Carlson and the whole replacement theory, which is generally that Black and brown people are going to overtake the white population. And so therefore the white population needs to prevent that.
Right. So,
Biden came. I want to stay with Buffalo for a moment and just let them know that The governor, Kathy Hochul, asked for Biden to come. She actually said that on the news that evening, and he said he would, and he came the very next day.
He did.
I am so sorry that it had to be under those circumstances, because Buffalo probably doesn't get to see the president of the United States very often.
Correct.
But he's a very empathetic president, and I'm hopeful that his presence was a comfort to them in some way.
Yeah.
So also Tops, the supermarket, and the community said they fought really, really hard. It's a food desert. They fought really, really hard to get a good food, a grocery chain in the community. And the market they have committed to reopening. Right now, it's still the crime scene, so no one is allowed back. And they have been helping as far as like transportation and things like that for citizens there to get to other places to be able to get their food.
Right. Whew. I have a lot to say on this.
It is a lot to say on that.
This is a tough one. However, I hope and pray that when these people, it's going to take a long time to heal, but when some of the hurt is gone and that hurt becomes action, and it becomes that anger, whereas I'm not going to let this sit. I hope that they sue the Tucker Carlsons of the world, the Murdochs of the world, and everyone else. Ben Crump is already representing one of the families of the older woman. I don't recall her name, but he represents the family. So Ben Crump is there, and they're going to find out who they can sue. Because remember, look at Sandy Hook parents. Was it Sandy?
Oh, right.
Sandy Hook parents.
They got Alex Jones.
Alex Jones, the NRA just had to pay that large settlement. So you know what? NRA, we're coming for you again. Again.
Until you no longer exist.
Until you no longer exist, and you have people, and it angers me a little bit when people are like, well, there's nothing we can do. We have to.
Yes, there is.
We have to arm ourselves. It's not about voting. And it's like, oh my God. Okay. It's all of the above, right? It's not one fix. And suing is a big part of that, because you have to start hitting these people in the pockets. That is the consequence. They're not going to jail. Tucker Carlson's not going to jail. He's just not.
But Rupert Murdoch could be lifted up off of some money.
Exactly. Keep the big guy, cut it
make
off
it
at
too
the
much
head.
of it. Make it too much of a
liability.
There you go.
A liability.
Make him too much of a liability.
That's exactly. Do you know that our money goes to Fox News? If you have just Hulu and Hulu carries Fox News, they get a carrier fee. So for every home that has them, it's like $2. So you're talking about $2 a month.
And you can't take it out of your package.
He cannot. You can't take it. They've been, I think there's lawsuits going on because people want them out of their package. Like, I just want regular news. I don't want, this is entertainment. I don't want this.
Right. They're not even real news. They said
exactly.
That.
They
in court.
Exactly.
In court.
So why do I have to have this within
and it's
news
lies.
Package?
It's lies. It is killing our country. So there's that.
Yeah.
There's that. And one last thing about Buffalo, I did read today, the DOJ is officially investigating this as a hate crime. I'm so glad that dude didn't kill himself, and I'm so glad nobody shot him either.
Me too. He could have gotten beat up a little bit. We did want to see that. He should have got his tail beat, because if that was a Black person, this is just, we know
he'd be dead. But anyway.
We already. Also, here's another thing that needs to be fixed. There was a woman in the store who
the 911. Did you hear about that?
The operator hung up on her.
She's done.
I can't. Right. I think she got fired today. Wasn't
they said
today?
They were holding a meeting, but they said they expected her to be terminated. She's been there for 8 years. Like, first of all,
up on someone. I'm sorry.
If a woman called me whispering, I'm not a 911 operator, but the first thing that I would think is that she's in some sort of danger, a domestic violence sort of situation, right?
Exactly.
Not why you whispering? I can't hear you. What in the world?
Speak louder. Like you're screaming where he can hear you. Like how is that helpful? Wow.
And she called her boyfriend to then have him call 911.
And you know what's interesting? A lot of people do that, and just in situations like that, car accidents, whatever. They call a family member before they call like the police, because
they
dealing
do.
with the police is just a ridiculous thing. You can't even the thought. Wow. See you later, lady. That's insane. All right. So we're gonna switch gears and have a little bit of fun and laugh, because that was just a lot of heavy stuff right there.
That really was. That really was.
A little heavy, and yeah, time is ticking. So we're gonna move on. If you are out there lurking, jump in the chat right now. We are going to play quotes and questions. I have some quotes and I have some questions. So let's go. Is everyone ready? Everyone in the house? We got goals.
I'm ready.
Michelle, okay, let's go. We ain't seen Kevin in forever.
I know.
We're missing Kevin. Okay, everyone. First quote. I believe Biden's intentions are good, but actions are necessary. I will read it again, and then I will give 3 hints. I believe Biden's intentions are good, but actions are necessary. Black, perm, civil rights.
Really? I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, it's not like he ain't been doing nothing.
Right. I think people just want fire. What are they saying in here?
Mary, it is not. Oh, we got our first winner.
Okay. Michelle, Ghost, Al, Mary with the BB Kamala.
Kamala does not perm Mary.
She doesn't perm Mary. She flat irons.
Oh my goodness.
Hilarious. The answer is Al Sharpton. You knew that, right?
Yes.
Since I said perm, you're like, yeah, got it. All right. Let's see. What governor, question, this is a question. What governor signed a law this week making it illegal to protest outside of a private property? I will read that again.
A doofus one.
What governor signed a law this week making it illegal to protest outside of a private property? White, male, doofus. Because if I say this third one, it's a giveaway.
Oh, really, Ghost? I'm not going to repeat that on air. Ghost is on it tonight.
He really is. Oh, you met Al Sharpton in real life? Did you touch his hair? Just kidding. Just kidding.
That might explain his second statement. He tried to touch his hair.
Right. All right. Can't do that. All right. Ghost says DeSantis. Michelle says Ron DeSantis. Andrea says DeSantis. Ghost says muffin body DeSantis. Mary says DeSantis. Andrea says lady hips. All of the above. Yes, correct.
Ron
have lady hips. That's hilarious.
DeSantis.
Yes.
Ronnie, doofus. Anything you want to call them.
Next quote, y'all. Even though they didn't pull the trigger, they did load the gun for this young white supremacist. I'll read it again. Even though they didn't pull the trigger, they loaded the gun for this young white supremacist. Black, male, bald. Yeah. Even though they didn't pull the trigger, they did load the gun for this young white supremacist. I am going to give another hint. What's GQP? The GOP?
The GOP?
Why we say GQP? I don't know what that means. I know it's the QAnon bunch.
It is the QAnon bunch?
GQ. No, not this. I was just reading what Ghost wrote GQP. So I didn't quite understand. Okay, I'll read it again and then I'll give another hint. Even though they didn't pull the trigger, they did load the gun for this young white supremacist. Black, male, bald, attorney.
Okay, now I know.
Even though they didn't pull the trigger, they did load the gun for this young white supremacist. Ghost comes in with the crump. Crump is not a dance.
That's crunking.
Oh. It's crumping.
Do the crump, the crump.
Do the crump.
Do the crump, crump. Crump to baby. All right, y'all, we getting.
Okay, Andrea, burn crump. Yes. Where's Michelle?
And Mary.
Yeah. Waiting on y'all. Did Michelle answer the other one? Oh, yeah, she got that one.
They all laughing at us now.
Right, because they're delayed. They're like, what in the world? Okay, was it Mary and Michelle? Where y'all at? Goes to those eyeballs. Oh, she doesn't know. All right, the answer is, I'm trying to wait for Michelle. I know what happened.
She don't know.
Okay, all right. Ben Crump, bald male attorney. Even though they didn't pull the trigger, they did load the gun for this young white supremacist. And he is absolutely right. Let's do one more. Question. What type of hearing did Congress hold this week that was the first of its kind in 50 or more years? What type of hearing did Congress hold this week that was the first of its kind in more than 50 years?
I have no idea. But they found a need to do that they had needed to do for 50 years. It couldn't have been anything good.
Girl, and I wrote a tweet about it. I'm like, is this for real? And there's no voting rights? Y'all really had a hearing on this? Okay. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Girl, wait till you hear. What type of hearing? Michelle said UFO.
Oh, right. I don't.
Girl, I made a tweet about that and I had so many people like, those things are important too. And I'm just like,
really?
I care about what's happening on the earth right now. They can do it. They're going to investigate that anyway. That's why they have those different departments. We got to have a hearing on it, a public hearing that had 5 people.
What do you mean it had 5 people?
It's like 5 people. It's like somebody wrote, like
playing.
Someone answered my tweet and said that it was like 5 people at this public hearing. Nobody cares about this.
That's because the loons couldn't make it in time.
Did QAnon know that this was happening? Because this sounds like something that would
actually, you know what? The UFOs took everybody that would be able to verify them, so they could not appear at the meeting and talk about them.
You know what? You're right.
That's what happened.
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, the answer was UFO. I think it's called something else now. It's like some uh arterial. I can't remember the name. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember. But it is a different name now. But thanks for playing, everyone. Goodbye. Yes, Kat, and we have one more. We have some good stories, right?
We do.
Some great, great, happy things because we're going to end everything on a happy, happy note. Yeah. So what's our first happy story?
The U.S. women's soccer team, had been embroiled for a very long time in a court battle, or was it a court battle? To gain same pay as men. And it happened. They are going to be paid the same as the men's soccer team, which is only fitting because didn't they win the championship? The men's team didn't. The men's team went home.
Yeah.
They did not get, they didn't.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I'm not even a soccer person, but the tenacity, like we really have to, and you know what? This shows what we're going to have to do with this abortion fight. We have got to stick in there. We have got to be tenacious about it. We have got to expose all of the stupid justifications that they put out there. We're just going to have to stick to it. Yeah. Like the soccer team could be, all of these stories could be, metaphors for literally what we're going to have to do out here these next few months and years. Really.
Right. They treat, Shell. So when I read the story, they were making $10 a day. They had to buy their own sneakers. They were living off of peanut butter and Snickers. Like it was really bad. Like it wasn't like it wasn't a small pay gap. Mm-hmm. They weren't being paid basically, and they won 4 cups. They weren't paying them at all. They were just.
Isn't that just disgusting though? Like how it just really shows how little they value us, because they've made plenty. And companies and stuff like that, FIFA, plenty of money off the fact the United States of America, the U.S. Soccer Federation or whatever, plenty of money off of our U.S. women's soccer team. Yeah. But they're not getting any benefits of it, save for any endorsements that they may have been able to get.
Right. Exactly. And that's how they made their money, with the endorsements. Absolutely.
And that's, I was telling you, they need to move on to basketball, because maybe if they did something about the desperate pay in basketball, Brittany Griner would not be sitting in a Russian prison right now.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. But by all means, make women have babies.
Yeah. So that's one good story. And then you told me about Wiley College.
Yeah. Imagine being at your college graduation, just kind of happy, euphoric about, I'm about to graduate. But then like, damn, I got to pay these school loans. Because the minute you walk across that stage, you're about to get that letter from Fannie and Sally. Fannie and Sally, like. But then imagine being on the stage and then they announce you're debt free. Mm-hmm. That happened. Like Anna said, Wiley University, that happened to their graduates. Their debt is paid, wiped clean by an
anonymous donor.
Yeah.
They said there were over 100 students, and the total amount of debt that was paid was $300,000.
Yeah.
That's a lot of student loan debt off of their backs. That's actually 100 students with $300,000 in student loans.
Yeah. Think about Fannie and like who is that? Betsy DeVos? Is that her people? Mm-hmm. Oh my God, the money. Mm-hmm. Wow.
So that is huge. That puts them ahead right out of the gate. Instead of paying student loans, you can be saving for a house. You can maybe go back to school.
Go back to school, right?
Because you won't have two sets of loans under that you were paying. I mean, look at the possibilities.
Yeah. Like you said,
start a family.
You can go get a job and buy a house right away because you're not paying $2,500 a month just for a loan. Living with roommates now, so
right.
Kudos.
How about living by yourself?
I mean, it's
like you said, instead of roommates.
Yeah,
like it's 3 of y'all to a room because you all got student loans.
We have a young associate now. We just hired him back. He was a intern, and they hired him. He passed the bar. He lives with roommates. He's an attorney. He's got
student debt
because he has student debt because he's paying over $2,000 a month just in debt. So
that is wonderful. And then in keeping with college and good news, I wanted to tell everybody about Haley Taylor Schlitz. She, oh my God, graduated from law school at 19 years of age. Let me see. She graduated from Southern Methodist University's Dedman School of Law. She was homeschooled through her Texas homeschooling program until 13. 3 years later, she graduated from Texas Women's College at age 16. And on Friday, when this story was published, at 19, she was the youngest Black woman ever to graduate law school at Southern's School of Law.
Girl, get it, girl.
19.
Get it, girl.
19.
Girl, what?
She is getting ready to go out here and conquer the world.
She's gonna kill it. 19?
Absolutely conquer the world.
She's gonna be like Mr. Finney with them 11 degrees.
It says she is currently prepping for her bar exam, which she plans to take at the end of July. She is hoping to enter the field of educational policy. Weren't we just talking about that?
Girl, go. Like
standard K through 12 education has not been updated fundamentally in a very long time. I would like to help amend that on a national and statewide level. Yes, because these governors are going absolutely crazy with what they think education is supposed to be.
Wild.
Insane on what they think education is. It is not banning books. It is not talking about Black people as if they don't exist. It is not talking about LGBTQ as if though they don't exist. That is just not it.
Right.
It is not banning math books because the person's name is Chris instead of John. Okay. This was a good news story, and it really is. But you know what? It just always kind of highlights, like, if you just let a child learn, look at what they can do.
Right.
If you just give them knowledge, look at what they can do.
Right. And come back and help the system. Yeah.
Right.
I love that story. Congratulations, Haley Taylor Schlitz. Congratulations to you. I like that story. So we're going to keep in line with the good story, and we're going to close out with some Black excellence.
Yeah.
Do you drink whiskey?
I do.
You do drink whiskey? Okay. So here's the story of Nearest Green. Have you heard of Nearest? His name is Nearest, Nearest. Nearest Green.
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
It sounds familiar. Go ahead.
Okay. So around... forgive me for reading most of it because I didn't practice this. Around the mid 1800s, Greens enslavers lent him out for a fee to a farm, and they were involved in making spirits, also known as booze.
Moonshine, all that good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the spirits. Nearest was known as a skilled distiller who specialized in a process known as sugar maple charcoal filtering. A technique inspired by enslaved men and women. they used the charcoal to filter out water and to purify the food, and it was started in West Africa. Wow. So that is what Nearest was using as a distiller.
So it's not just for us to cook our food on the grill?
Exactly. Who knew? Who knew he was using it in whiskey, girl?
Africans knew.
Exactly.
But anyway, we digress. Go ahead.
So it made Green's whiskey gave it a unique smoothness. Years later, Jack Daniel, 7-year-old orphan, went to the same farm as an orphan to help around on the farm. He became Nearest Green's what is that thing called? Apprentice. So Nearest taught Jack Daniel everything that Jack Daniel knew. So what happens? Jack Daniel becomes an adult. He buys the farm. He turns it into a distillery. He hires Nearest Green as his distiller. So Nearest Green is the first master distiller for Jack Daniel and the first African-American distiller on record for the United States of America.
That is so dope. And the first whiskey maker, because he taught Jack everything he knew.
He taught Jack everything that Jack knew. And he got paid by Jack Daniel's distillery, but he didn't have any stock in that company. He didn't make any millions. He was no part of them. So here's the good part, and we're going to end on this, and this segues right from schooling to this. In 2017, his descendants made Uncle Nearest Inc. They created a whiskey. With every sale of his whiskey, it's called Uncle Nearest 1856 Premium Whiskey.
I will be going to look for that.
Yeah, it's out there now.
I will be going to look for it.
Every sale, the proceeds go back to his family, and they send every single descendant to college for free.
Wow.
All of his descendants are going to college for free from the sale of this whiskey.
I will be looking for some Uncle Nearest. And the name is just.
Yeah. So
that's an amazing story.
Yeah, it says, so Nearest Green, it's the Nearest Green Foundation announced the inaugural class of descendants receiving full scholarships to colleges and graduate school to continue their ancestors' legacy of excellence. So that's the purpose of it. I was just like, wow, every descendant just from forever.
I don't know. Oh my God, that is just amazing.
Right.
And you know what? And it also shows what we could have been.
Right.
Had but not for the color of our skin. We would have been master distillers.
Right.
We would have been billion-dollar companies.
Right.
Jack Daniels makes some good whiskey. I'm a fan of Jack.
Right. And all started with Uncle Nearest here, right? And he didn't get any of that money. But, the way they look at it back then is, well, he got paid.
Right.
He made a lot of money for his time, but he should have been making the millions, like you said. So.
Yeah, he should have had the company. Had he been white, he would have bought the farm and made his own company.
The farm.
Right, it would have been him.
Right, because he made that farm money. Because before Jack Daniels came around, he was already making the whiskey for them.
Girl, didn't you say Jack was 8 years old?
Exactly, 7 when he came to the farm. So Nearest had already been doing it. And Nearest started young too, but he had been doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
wonderful story. Love it. Everyone, hello and goodbye. I hope you guys had a great time.
Wait, Ghost of San. There's a documentary on Nearest.
Ooh, yay.
Okay. Ghost. You know the name of it? We'll have to look at that.
And where is it?
Right. It could be one of 100 places.
Right. It's Netflix? Guess we have to Google it. Let us know, Ghost. We got to sign out. So thank you, Andrea, Michelle. Michelle's like, bye.
Peace.
Mary, thank you. I know it's late for you, so good night. Good night.
Kevin, everyone. Kevin was on earlier. Yeah.
Oh, was he really? Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Kevin. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye,
Good
Anna.
night. See you
Good
next
night.
week.
Yes, next week. Bye-bye, guys. Be safe out there.